You're listening to the Athenry Show on ITV.ie and Irish News Radio. Today, we're going to have just a quick look at what's going on and the madness, absolutely madness, of a so-called Taoiseach who is really not a Taoiseach. And as he says, I am the EU. He really is the bloody EU, and he is very scarily dangerous. So he says to the UK, you'll be in for a nasty surprise if you try to undermine the EU solidarity. Backing from Brussels. Pretty scary talks. Now think about that. Absolutely scary. All the Irish trade is with the UK. All our history is with the UK. We can't just leave it. The only reason we joined the EEC was to trade with the United Kingdom. Like, what does he think a nasty surprise from Brussels and himself is going to do? Do you think the UK would go, oh, you know what, we've changed our mind now? You can't threaten and bully the UK. You just absolutely can't. And that is not going to work. Absolutely scary. What will happen is us, the Irish people, will pay with our jobs because they will stop trade, and then we will be like a third world. We're already bad enough with our health service that he made a mess of. And now Harris continuing on his bloody mess. With the cervix scare, the hospital's been in a mess. Now the nurses, and a barbaric abortion. Like, what did Kenny leave? The three most evil. What did he leave? A destruction of Ireland. With Leo, who has so much hate for the Irish people. Harris, with his destruction. And Sapone, another non-Irish. She doesn't even have any Irish blood. I don't even know how she's in. She wasn't even born in Ireland. Has no Irish blood. She only moved in after her lesbian Irish wife died and she got into politics. She only moved to Ireland when they were sick. Like, it's crazy. She's even in government. So then he goes on like a schoolboy, Northern Ireland will be able to travel from Athenry to Athens, from Athens to Athenry, and England won't, like UK won't. Like, really schoolboy tactics. Now let's look at this. Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK can travel to Athenry anyway, because freedom of movement well predates anything of the EU or the EEC. So that's complete bullshit. And as for Athens, maybe they'll have a 2-minute visa form they'll have to fill in. But, thankfully most of the British have gone to school and they can read and write. So that's not a big swing. But what is a big swing is threatening them with a nasty surprise with yourself in Brussels. That's a big swing, because the nasty size, it'd be a bigger nasty surprise if they decided to turn off our electricity in the morning. That would be a much bigger nasty surprise. They stopped deciding that they're going to trade with us and supply electricity. That's a much bigger supply. And who will pay for all this? Yes, Leo, we the Irish people. Not you, because you're still being paid by Brussels, so you don't care what happens to us, the native Irish people. Absolutely shocking and insane thought. You're on some sort of mad ego trip. And we, the Irish people, should be demanding he's out from office in hundreds of thousands. We should be marching the street like the French, demanding Leo leaves, because it's destruction. What he's talking about. A nasty surprise. I'm backing from the EU. He's worried about undermining the EU. He's not caring about our trade. He doesn't really care about the border. And the border is the EU. That's who's insisting. Not the UK, I keep telling you. But he's trying to twist it as if it's the UK. What is the UK doing to Ireland? Nothing. They're leaving. Yes, it will affect our trade. So the best deal for us is to leave with the UK, not to threaten and bully and antagonise them for the EU. That is not doing us, the Irish people, any good. That will affect our trade hugely. That will affect our everyday lives. That is what will affect us. And the EU after they put 43% of the euro banking crisis on our heads, do you think that they will have any concern for the native Irish? No, neither does Leo. In fact, he can't stand us. He never even considered himself Irish. He considered himself Indian. This is scary, scary stuff. Yeah, it's just crazy. And he really thinks we're that stupid not to see through his lies. That he could threaten the UK and then he could tell them that, you know, that they won't be able to go to Athens and Athenry. And like as if they would really, the price of freedom will be worth not being able to travel. Like, what the hell? We had 800 years dying for our freedom. I think Brexit is very much worth it. Insane. And we, the Irish people, will pay for his last comments because the British aren't going to forget this. It's all over their papers. They already think he's an idiot and realise that he was not able to be doing his job and shouldn't be doing his job because he's a complete idiot. They have no respect for him. And I don't blame them because they know he's a traitor to this country. And they know he's dangerous to the country. He's dangerous for our trade. He's dangerous for us. And he should be removed. And this sort of stupid talk proves how idiot he is. And he is not cut out for this job at all. We should have absolutely 100% Irish, or for 100% the Irish, even if they didn't have the blood. Like Finn Leonard wasn't 100% Irish, but because he was brought up in a very much Irish environment, his love and his heart and his soul was only for Ireland. Leo's is not. In fact, he despised the Irish. And that makes a huge difference. Even though Finn Leonard was black, his love, and he was pure Irish. Because he'd grown up in Ireland by grandparents. His only influence was the Irish. He may have only half blood Irish, but he was more Irish than a lot of even full-blooded Irish. But as for Leo, even though he's only half Irish, but because he had influence and he'd prefer the Indian influence, he has no love for the native Irish or the pure Irish. He despises and hates them. Thank you for listening on the Bonry Show on itv.ie and Irish News Radio. If you have anything to say, if you want to talk about anything, get in touch, phone in. But it's scary days, people. Keep an eye on what's going on. As we get closer to Brexit, things are going to get crazy. I wouldn't actually be surprised that Leo, egotistic, would put a bomb or two in under the skies of some rebel movement. He's this egotistic for Brussels. He would literally do anything for them, even destroy our own country and our trade and whatever else. But he doesn't care. He's determined to try and break the British. But what he won't do is, the British won't be broken by that idiot. What he will do is destroy our relationship with and destroy our trade. That we can never get back. It's taken us the last few years to actually have a better relationship. As much as we had a bad up and down relationship with the United Kingdom, we had good trade with them. That won't very much change overnight with stupid comments like nasty surprise. Unbelievable. Scary days, people. Scary days. We'll see as it gets closer to Brexit. Any more craziness. I really can't believe that he's still allowed run a country. And as for Micheál Martin, who's supposed to be his opposition, who says sovereignty and independence is backwards looking. Yeah, we spent 800 years fighting for independence and sovereignty. Backwards thinking absolutely should be taken out of office as well. As soon as he said those words, all of them need to be gone. There's not one of them. And that's quite scary. We've nobody looking out for the actual Irish. They're all looking after themselves and their money in Brussels. Disgusting creatures. Absolutely turn my stomach. Thank you for listening on The Bonry Show on itv.ie and Irish News Radio.
You are listening to Irish News Radio at irishnews.net. Email news@irishnews.net.